It's so dark.
We're good.
Jim, it's really dark. Can we put the light over here?
Yeah. Which one?
No, put the light over here.
Where?
Right here? Yeah, plug it into.
Yeah, start talking.
Hello. We have Burns Lawn Care in the house.
Can you guys hear us? Is the microphone
we're
working?
Still setting up. Maybe twist it down a little bit, Jim. Yeah, just a smidge. A little more. Yeah, right there. That's good. I just want to check this real quick.
It should be good. Just let it, if you guys can hear us, somebody just put a chat in the.
Yeah, just type that you can hear us or if we need to turn the volume up more.
I think the lighting's good, right?
Birds Lawn Care, what's up? How you guys doing?
All right, yeah, I think the light's good. Sorry guys, this is our first. This is our first stream ever.
Yeah, we're just
so we're not sure what we're doing, but we're figuring it out.
We have the computer hooked up to the TV so we can read the comments, so it's a little bit bigger. Sounds good. They can hear us.
Okay, good.
Thanks for tuning in, everyone.
Mike in New Jersey, Call Me Hey is on. Cool. I know we got some family members watching this one. We're gonna be doing the giveaway today. We're gonna wait for a few people to see if more people come on in a few minutes. But
for whoever's watching, we will give a shout out right back to them for Burns Lawn Care for helping us reach our 1,000 subscribers. We were roughly at 994 subscribers when they went up. They were on their live and they gave us a shout out and pushed us over. So thank you for that. We came up with the name Ziggy's because our last name is Zignorski. And me, Jimmy's my youngest brother. Our other two brothers, we all go by Ziggy. So that's our nickname. And it's a catchy business name, I guess. Most people tend to remember it. That's why.
Yeah, so obviously we hit 1,000 subscribers.
Yeah, my wife made us these balloons for the 1,000. Came home from work today to those balloons, which was really cool. She's in the corner over here filming us on Snapchat.
For Steve, I know this is different for Steve because this is his first time hitting 1,000. Not many people obviously hit 1,000 more than once. I actually have my own YouTube channel, so this isn't my first time around. I have a truck channel that I don't really use anymore that has 4,000 subscribers. So I knew what it was like to get to 1,000. So I've hit it before, but collectively the effort to get here has been very good. It's been amazing.
Congratulations, Renee says. Thank you guys. We appreciate it. There's 15 people watching. We said hopefully we get 2 or 3 more, yeah. Or else we'll just be talking to a couple people. But this is cool.
Thank you, Long Boy. How are you doing?
Yeah, we're very appreciative of everyone taking the time out of their evening, depending where you're located. And my wife commented, "Nice balloons." Thank you.
It's funny because when you watch like a live video, which we've done from the outside, it's different being on the other side of the camera now and reading the comments and so forth.
So we'll just answer questions for now, I guess, right?
Yeah, you want to wait maybe 5 or 10 minutes
yeah.
to see if just had more people. We had over 60 people comment down on our videos, the 2 videos that we put out. So that was way more than I thought. I thought maybe we were going to get 15 or something, but we had 63. So that was a really good turnout. Obviously, everybody wants that $50 Home Depot gift card. So we're going to do the drawing in about 5 or 10 minutes here.
We'll wait till like 7:30, right? To see
we could do that.
Some more people come on. How's the leaf cleanups going? So far, so good. I don't know if you guys are in Massachusetts. Down here in Jersey, the leaves over the past 7 days, they just all fell at once, which is really, really early for here. It's kind of a good thing because we have our cleanups mostly scheduled for like a 3 to 4 visit schedule. Like we give them a price for a full season. So we keep up with it every 10 to 14 days. But it's nice when they fall all at once. So with the equipment, we can just knock them out. And then the last time or two is just a quick, like a touch-up cleanup. Mike in New Jersey, you are in Verona. We're like north. Verona is like south of Route 23 South, right down. You're south of Wayne, I think. We're up in like Bloomingdale, Kinnelon, Jefferson, Sparta. We have not reached down that far of Route 23 yet, but we will be expanding next year. Julia says, love the Williams.
My girlfriend. Thank you, Julia.
Thank you, Julia. Cotham's Landscaping. How long have you had the 7.3s for? Love those trucks. Thank you. We the truck, one of the F450 is actually my dad's truck that he bought original from the dealership back in 2000, and I recently bought that off of him this past winter. But the other trucks, the F550, I bought that one in 2016 or 17.
Yeah. We've had a lot of 7.3s. Both of our first pickup trucks were 7.3s. I remember you started with that white one.
Yeah.
What was that?
My first one, when I got my driver's license, my junior year of high school, was a white 1999 F250. So that's all we really know, is because they're so easy to work on, and once they're done, as long as they're rust free, they go forever. And we don't need anything special. They're just work trucks. They look great. We painted them this past winter, and
other than, the only downfall we see out of the 7.3 is leaks, but me and Steve are pretty mechanically inclined, so we can take a 7.3 all the way apart, and we're capable of resealing pretty much every part on it. So every truck that we have doesn't leak one drop of anything. So there's really no issues with them. People say they're slow, and they are a little bit slow compared to maybe like a modern day truck like the 7.3 Gasser that Steve had. It's night and day. It's slower, but it gets the work done.
Yeah. If you check out Jimmy's channel, Diesel 4WD 4-wheel drive, you can see his builds with his engines and his truck and some other stuff he did. But some of my trucks are in his videos where we put a brand new motor in my 1999. We did it 2 winters ago, actually. But thank you for the comment. We love those trucks. We'll keep those videos coming.
It rained here all day in PA from the hurricane. It rained here a little bit too today. We actually worked this morning.
We got a good half day in today. We were supposed to not be able to work at all today. It was supposed to rain 3 a.m. They said it was going to start, and it didn't start till 12 o'clock. So we got a good 5 hours in. Where in Pennsylvania are you located? We have a lot of family. My mom's whole side of the family is down in like Drexel Hill outside of Philadelphia. But
the oaks are dropping hard in New Jersey right now. Pretty much whatever's left is coming down right now.
Yeah, it seems like the pin oak trees, they, like I said, the past 7 days, the maples seem to come down all at one shot, really, really quick. But like the pin oak trees dropped in the past week. Like we went there last Wednesday, we went today. So like 7 or 8 days later, and the leaves are all down, which is a good thing.
Danielle says the hottest landscapers I know.
Danielle is my other brother's fiance. She won't tell us that in person, but she'll have to type it on the computer. But thank you, Danielle.
What does the future hold for walker mowers in your fleet? You want to answer that one?
You want to like alternate?
Yeah, you go.
Yeah. Walker mowers will never be not in this business, our company. I've had walker mowers. My dad's had walker mowers forever. He had a walker mower. So here's we're going to make a video on how this all came about. But
basically how we became Ziggy's.
Yeah. So I started my own business literally when I was 3 years old, and I could push my push mower to people's houses and whatnot. But my dad had his own company, and I had my own company. I always wanted to be separate. I wanted to always do my own thing. So I officially started Steven Zignorski Jr. Landscaping in 2011, I think, somewhere around sophomore of high school. And I didn't really know what I was doing with the business name or whatnot, but I rebranded 2 years ago to Ziggy's Lawn and Landscape, a little bit more of a catchy tune to it. People remember it better. Steven Zignorski Jr. Landscaping was just too long of a name. My dad's company was Zignorski Landscaping, so all of my advertising was for nothing because he was getting all the calls. And he didn't want the calls because he was just working by himself. So he figured out, and I figured out this past winter, that enough is enough. He was done working by himself, and he didn't want to deal with customers and the billing and all the business stuff. So I made him an offer and purchased his part of his company while still running mine. So now he works for me. Jimmy works for me. And like I said, my dad had a Walker mower that was it was like a 1998. And we put a new motor in it. He bought it 2015 used for $500. We put a brand new motor in it, and it was literally hanging together by zip ties. But it worked, and he had a Walker before that, and we've just always had them. Either if we bought them new or we bought them used, we've always had them. And like I like to say in a lot of the videos is that it could be 50-mile-an-hour winds, and you could be working for 9 hours out of the day on smaller properties with just backpack blowers that kick out the garden beds and just run around with the mower. You're still getting your jobs done. So Walker mowers are not going anywhere. Sorry for the long ramble there, but
yeah. So then it's sorry, I'm new to your channel. Are you guys brothers? Yeah, we're brothers. Steve is my oldest brother. Like I said, we have three other brothers, so there's 4 of us, but two of them don't. Well, there's 3. Well, in my case.
Yeah.
But anyways, there's 2 of them that are not involved in the business. They're doing their own thing, and then me and Steve work together, and then obviously our dad works for us. But yeah, we're brothers. And okay, yeah, you're in Western Pennsylvania near Pittsburgh. So that's far away.
Yeah, that's about 5.5, maybe 6 hours away.
Yeah.
So you're like near the Ohio borderline, I guess. That's where we bought our Toro Multiforce. Was
what was that called?
Procore Power Equipment in somewhere in Ohio. I forget what the town, Philadelphia, Ohio, actually, ironically, it was called. We had it shipped in last year, but that's cool. You guys are tuning into the videos.
In your opinion, what's the best lawnmower on the market today? That's a hard question because it depends on what you're going for.
Because you could live down in Florida where the grass doesn't grow, or you can live in Texas where it's giant fields.
Yeah.
Walker mowers, in my opinion, where we are, New Jersey, typically it suits all the properties.
Yeah.
And even if you don't use it, like it'll work on a big field. It takes a little bit longer. And yes, you can get the other mower decks. As you know, Brandon and Renee, you guys have Walker mowers. And you guys have your standard mowers too, but we use it on almost everything. We put a lot of hours on our machines. I'm going to probably say the Walker mower.
Yeah. I mean, also though, if you're going for versatility, I mean, the Toro Multiforce for what we use it for with the bucket on it is very close because
the biggest game changer.
We make it work all year round. So, I mean, we use it for every mulch job pretty much. So that's a tough question. Specifically cutting grass though.
For lawn, we'll take your question. Well, yeah, I guess we'll take your question as you typed it. What's the best lawn mower, not including attachments? Yeah. I'm going to say the Walker mower. Yeah. Just because you can bag the grass and then you can get side discharge or mulching decks. That's my opinion. It's mostly what I know. But like I said.
Yeah. And Mike said, I'm a new Walker owner. I couldn't ever imagine having anything else. It is the best mower. It is. I mean, it does everything like we just said. So yeah, we agree with that.
Here come the spammers.
Hang on, I might be able to kick them out.
We don't need to find myself a hot girl. She's married to me. She's here.
Okay, Danielle said mass chat is working.
Jonathan, thank you for coming.
Go down there. What's your least favorite property to do?
Probably Danielle's house is the worst property we have, right? No, I'm just kidding.
I'll just answer it. You want to answer it as like a generic one?
Some of our clients are watching this video, possibly. What's the least favorite property?
I don't like bushes. I don't like getting the leaves out of bushes.
Yeah, them, but also just as like a mental note, if you know someone is overdue on a payment and you go to their house, you automatically, it sets me the wrong way. Going to someone's property and like, all right, you're 30 days overdue or whatever, that right off the bat just sets me in a bad mood for that specific property. But I'll agree with Jimmy. Ones with a lot of shrubs and bushes and branches, especially like creeping junipers. We got to get all the leaves out of them with the leaf blowers and whatnot. But we like, obviously, the stand-on blowers are really good for wide open fields, properties that don't have many obstacles. But that's it. Girls 18, find yourself a hot girl here.
Lawn Boy, I don't want to skip his. He said, love my walkers. He has a T and a few B's. The T is like the one with the knot. Which one is the one that doesn't have the hopper on the back?
MB.
Okay.
MB, and then MT is the
standard one.
Okay. What did you buy your walkers new, Lawn Boy, or did you buy them used? And he said he was new, right?
Yeah, he's a new subscriber.
Yeah, so no walker owner.
No, that was Mike.
Oh, Mike. Okay.
Yeah.
But back to Mike. You're a new walker owner. How long have you had yours, and did you buy a new one, or did you buy it pre-owned? And then the same thing for Lawn Boy. How long have you been running them? We'll let them respond. And
Berg said, "What engines are your favorite Briggs?"
This is a good question.
Yeah, this is a good question.
You go first.
From what I've seen on the Hurricane, you don't like the carbureted Briggs, right?
Briggs Vanguard carbureted is,
and on our big leaf sucker it has the same thing.
The freight and tow behind has a 31 horsepower carbureted Briggs, and we are having nothing but flooding issues.
Yeah, even on the old Billy Goat leaf floaters, I'm pretty sure there were flooding on them too.
We have to turn the fuel off in between every single property. They need some work. The manufacturer needs to look into what we found out on the Hurricane blower. We might have mentioned this once before, but my wife and I were sleeping and wake up to the smell of gas, and we were like, where is this coming from? And the garage was attached to the house, and we're always working on something. There's oil changes and all sorts of sprays for carburetor spray and whatnot, but the whole house reeked of gas in the middle of the night. And we opened it, and the 10-gallon fuel tank on the Hurricane blower, it was like a reverse suction.
Like siphoned it out of but it went through the carburetor, through the intake, through the engine, out the exhaust.
Out the exhaust. It was just pouring onto the ground while the machine was off. And it has a fuel pump, so it had to suck the fuel out of the tank. It wasn't gravity fed. So it was like a reverse suction, pressure locked, sucking the fuel out.
Yeah.
So electric fuel solenoid, Brandon and Renee we put a brand new carburetor on. It only had like 200 hours on it, which was crazy.
And wasn't the fuel shut off too? And it still did that?
Fuel was off, and it was still pushing through. That's how much pressure it had. So we found out that it was the breather tube that returns itself back to the fuel tank was plugged up solid, causing like a vapor lock.
Yeah.
It was absolutely crazy. All the forums I posted, and I've seen so many things, and so has Jimmy, with carburetors with needles and seats and blah blah blah, that whole 9 yards. And we immediately thought it was that. Since then there was a piece of dirt plugged up in the return line. We blew that out, and it's been fine ever since. But my opinion, I love Kawasaki's.
I was going to say that too. I was also going to say that the Kohler is like, what is it, 15 to 2,000 hours, and they go. The Walker.
If you're the original owner, I think 2,000 to 2,500 is a reasonable hour limit.
But they're good though.
They're great.
Really no problems.
I mean, for Walker mowers, Kohlers right now, I think all they're kind of sandwiching in. I know they have the Kubota diesels, but the Kohler, if you change the oil, we're on the one machine's at 1,700 hours now as the original owner in 5 years, and we haven't had any problems with the engine.
Yeah. It
all comes down to maintenance.
But yeah, do we want to? It is 7:30. Do we want to do the giveaway real quick and then keep reading comments, or?
Let's wait a little bit.
Okay. All right. We'll keep reading these comments because these are pretty good. So we addressed the fuel solenoid shut off switch. I have to say, all the Briggs engines I have are super temp rental, all burn oil, and have issues constantly. Yeah, we've had it.
We agree. So what did we have? So we switched from Walker mowers over to the Toro Direct Collect.
Oh yeah.
Back
was that a Briggs?
No, that was actually a Kohler also. But we did that for maybe 5 months just to give it a shot. This was 6 or 7 years ago. My father bought one for his business, and I bought one for my business, and it worked. It had about the same power. It was a lot heavier, so it got stuck in yards and whatnot. But I checked the oil after getting it, and it was low within the first couple hours. And I asked the dealer, "What's the deal?" And they said, "All new engines burn like this much oil. You have to keep up with it." Which, I mean, yeah, it burned like a quarter of a quart in like a week, brand new, and that's what their response was. So
yeah,
that's
nobody. I mean, at least if you're busy like we are, there's no time to check everything every day. It's impossible.
Yeah,
because you're always on the move. But I mean, they expect you to check it like every 5 hours, which is not realistic.
We'll sum it up that they don't make things like they used to.
Yeah.
Where stuff you can literally flip it upside down and it still work. You gotta check everything.
But anyways, we got rid of them and went back to the walkers.
I'll show this real quick. We have these koozies made up.
Yeah.
For the logo of the business, camouflage koozies. We both have hats.
We should do merch.
Yeah, we'll get to it.
Yeah, one day.
One step at a time.
Yeah.
One boy says, "My first was an MD diesel in 2007. Traded it to a 31T. Still have it. Bought 2 new B23s new and awesome." So, question for you, Long Boy, on the diesels. I mean, you don't have to type too much if you don't want to, but have you had like cooling problems with this diesel?
Stupid starter solenoid thing.
And
remember that?
The starter solenoid.
We had the Kubota diesel walker that it smoked like crazy, but it ran great, and we used it. What was this, like 10 years ago almost?
It was just a buy to sell, but just to use for the fall.
And it had this stupid starting solenoid problem that it was like something was.
It ran the fuel injection pump, right, with the rod.
And we could, every time you'd be sitting there, turn the key on and off like 20 times before
we
we
replaced
start.
it too.
We replaced everything, and it still had that problem.
Yeah, but they do sip fuel, but they do cost a hell of a lot more money than a regular gas one.
Yeah.
When I was buying the new one this past winter, the 27 horsepower electronic fuel injection, I asked the dealer just for a price on the diesel, and they just laughed and said they can't even get it. Like, it's not even worth looking into right now with the way everything's going. But yeah, throw us a comment. It would be cool. Hear if you've had any cooling problems with the cooling fan and the radiator. But thank you for that comment. We are looking to get into aeration though next year. So
yeah.
Which aerator are you using for the walker? I seen on YouTube like the 12 or 14 years ago when the video quality wasn't that great. The attachment for the walker, that was their own aerator. I don't think they make that still, but do you have the JRCO attachment for the front for the aerator? Because we're gonna be looking to get into that next fall.
Okay. I know your Windstorm is a PTO, which is awesome. Does the Hurricane have one as well? No, the Hurricane runs right off of the engine, which is like, it's a good thing because it's impossible for a clutch to break because there is not one. So far, we haven't had an issue with the Windstorm in that case, except for one of the belts broke, but there's 2 belts just in case one does break. So we lucked out because it still worked, but we've replaced it since then. But obviously, if you go watch our Hurricane versus Windstorm video, the Hurricane has a lot more problems, even though that is a beneficial thing that it doesn't have a PTO.
Agreed. Cottom's Landscaping. How do the stand-on blowers do with pine needles? So to sum that up, it all depends how long have the pine needles been there. If it's been a few days and they're not they get embedded in that first top layer of the grass, and even backpack blowers, you could sit there all day trying to get them out. But straight up answer, the Skag Windstorm is a monster with anything in the ground. The Hurricane blower obviously is too, but it has more of a upright blowing pattern, where the Skag Windstorm, you can adjust the down pressure straight into the ground. So in spring cleanups, I noticed this year with the Skag, just having it, unfortunately, Jimmy missed out on spring cleanups because he was still in his senior year of college, but we'll figure that out in the spring, that the Skag is way better with spring cleanups. You can point the nozzle down, sticks, acorns, all the snowplow, the grime that goes into the ground from the street. You don't even need a backpack blower. It blows it right out. But it does. The Skag's a monster with pine needles. The Hurricane blower does well too, but the Skag's far superior.
Okay. No, the wind in the trailer, it kicks up a little bit, but it's doable if you're dirty already. It's
no different than when we're
Yeah.
sucking up leaves with the
Yeah,
leaf
yeah.
loader and there's dust in the air and whatnot. I mean,
Yeah.
it does get a little annoying when we do have grass or leaves on the ground in the trailer, but like we said, we're just pulling it in or backing it out.
And I mean, it's minimal airflow.
Yeah, it's not.
You can half throttle if you want to make it less, but it's not that bad. It's a lot. I think a lot of people make that too much of a big deal.
I mean, some people out there we've seen. That's
some
like
people. That's the sole reason they won't buy it.
That's the reason they won't buy it. And is if you're,
Yeah.
we know you guys are working hard, Burns Lawn Care, but some people don't want to get dirty. Like in the trailer, we see in some of their comments in the video, they didn't want to buy the hurricane blower because it blew dust in the trailer. I mean, we're in the landscaping business. You're gonna get dirty.
Okay.
Also, Burns Lawn Care, I think your son deserves a raise in his videos.
Yeah.
Happy Meal, chicken nuggets, and $20 an hour. We can't even find anyone to work down here. That's crazy. If he has an off day from school or daycare, send him our way. We'll put him to work.
Yeah.
We'll let him ride the mower by himself. That was cool.
Okay, Long Boy said, I didn't have any problems like that. He had a 48 collection deck and a 52 side discharge. Yeah, the diesel's a low RPM, so that makes sense. It doesn't have power in the high grass. Like the gassers, they rev up higher than the diesel, obviously, across the board on anything that's gas versus diesel. But yeah, they do. I mean, the diesel is more of a torquey engine than compared to a gas. But yeah. So liquid cooled Kohler. I don't think we've had any liquid cooled Kohlers. We did.
Dad had a 25 horsepower liquid cooled. It was like a 2006 or 7.
Oh, actually, I remember that one too that we bought with the snowblower on it.
Broke.
Was liquid cooled too.
Yeah, but his broke where the magnetos mount to the block cracked on his.
Okay.
Sorry everyone. Will we see these comments later?
Yeah, we can go back.
I want to.
No, we can go back.
His aerator by Zero. I want to look into that. Like we said, we're looking to get into aerating next year. We're not sure if we're going to buy its own aerator, like a stand-on aerator with a spreader built in, or use the Toro Multiforce with the aerator attachment on that, or use one of the walkers with an aerator. What was I going to say? We're kind of leaning towards buying its own standalone aerator with a spreader built in, so we can put our own mulch bucket on the front, because we're anticipating to be doing a lot more mulch next year than we are this year. So we can have the Toro Multiforce running with its hydraulic dump, and then maybe run the aerator in the spring with the mulch dump on that, so it's not sitting for 11 months out of the year. We're only going to use it in September, October. But that's cool. Thank you for that comment. We'll definitely look into that.
What are your thoughts on the electric mowers? I think the electric, like the industry, is pretty impressive from what I've seen. I mean, the one thing I've heard across the board, I know that like they're making electric pickup trucks now, and obviously they're cheaper to charge the battery than it is to go to the pump right now. The prices at the pump are outrageous, but the battery is life on everything, from what I'm hearing, is not able to keep up with the demands of what the alternative would be gas. That's what I've heard across like everything that's electrically powered. But what do you think?
I know the one electric, I think it was a DeWalt mower, caught on fire at the GIE Expo this year. I think the electric has a potential to make its way into the industry. Like Jimmy said, if the battery life lasts long enough that it makes it worth it, I don't know. I don't ever see myself, once everything is fully electric, I hopefully will be retired from this and we'll be sitting in Florida somewhere with our feet up. But I don't think it's horrible. I don't ever see myself having an electric like truck or something.
Yeah, I don't either.
But lawnmowers, it's a possibility. You never know.
It's a realistic idea, but it's just I don't know. We watched that one video of a Rivian pickup truck, which was supposed to have like 400 miles on our range, and then they towed a trailer with it, and it got like 150 miles. So it was not.
There was
close.
a post on a Bobcat electric skid steer. I don't know if this was a joke. I saw this on Facebook, but it said it takes 10 hours or 8 or 10 hours to charge, and then it only lasts for 4 hours. So if you start at 8 o'clock or 7 o'clock, the battery's dead by the middle of the day. What are you going to do? And it was like $100,000 or something crazy, 120,000. I don't know. Moving on from that, Brandon and Renee, what were you going to buy and rent out? Were you going to buy an electric mower or an aerator?
Sounds like the aerator.
The aerator,
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah, electric. Yeah, for homeowners, electric makes sense because you don't have to worry about gas going bad or anything if you're leaving stuff over the winter or for a long period of time. If you charge the battery, it works every time.
That's where a lot of people go wrong. They don't treat the fuel and they let their snowblower sit all year, and then they wonder, oh my goodness, it's been sitting for 8 months. Why won't it start?
Or you have like a homeowner who doesn't know how to mix the gas, and then they put regular gas in a 2-stroke, and then it seizes up because there's no oil in it.
Yeah, so homeowners, I mean, if you have a normal sized property, electric is perfect. Battery powered, whatever, lawnmower, or I mean, I see people still who live in mansions that have electrical cords running down their driveway to blow everything off. It's like you have the mansion because you're running electricity and you're doing everything yourself. But electric works fine for homeowners.
We have another comment. This is an interesting comment.
Yeah. Brandon and Renee asked this to me the other day. The same question.
Technically, the hurricane blower was not the Buffalo turbine.
No,
thing,
the
right?
Buffalo turbine is what they use at golf courses.
That's like the thing that sweeps.
The chute.
Yeah.
Remember we
so
had
it's
one a
similar
couple
to
years
it's
ago.
similar to the Toro multi-forces attachment.
Exactly.
Right? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. We had one 2 or 3 years
Oh,
ago.
I remember that. Yeah, yeah. It
on
was
the
on
bike.
that crappy one.
It was a 26 horsepower electronic fuel injection. It was an older machine, and we bought
No,
it.
I thought we had that on that old Walker that was only the 16 horsepower Kohler, right?
Okay, maybe
That
Yeah.
old one.
that's what that was.
Yeah,
We had it
but
on
anyways.
a 16 horsepower Kohler, like in 1996 or 97 with the Buffalo turbine blower. Has a belt that turns the chute all the way around, and then it runs off the PTO underneath the seat. I think Brandon and Renee, I told you that the one I had it on was a 23 horsepower. I'm mistaken. It was a 16 horsepower. So maybe that's why it wasn't.
You might have taken
As
it off
impressive.
though and put it on something else. I forget.
Yeah,
what we
I
did.
forget. It worked. Everything, in my opinion, is a step up from a push blower. Anything you can hook up to the Walker or the Toro blower, it's all a step up from the push blower. But having the Skag and the Hurricane and then going like
Back to that.
back to something.
It all depends too on where you live and how many leaves there
Yeah.
are. I mean, you might not need the Skag where you're
Yeah.
at, but yeah, I mean, it was from what we saw, it was good, but
That's a lot of
Obviously.
CFMs.
yeah,
What is the
that
Skag?
is.
That is a
I
lot.
think the Hurricane's only 85 and the Skag is 75.
Somewhere around there.
That's a
Would
lot.
be interested. Send
yeah.
us like if you're on our Instagram page, show us a
65 Skag.
okay.
I knew the Skag's less than the Hurricane, but
The thing I
thing-
like, if it is more power,
yeah.
the thing that you
The good
it's-
thing is that you could point it straight
you
down.
can point
or
it straight down, but
or
you
if-
can't go forwards. You
Yeah.
got to turn the machine, which it's not the worst thing in the world. But if it has way more power, it sounds like it's
Yeah.
going to blow our machines out of the
That's-
water. Imagine pointing that left or right
Yeah,
to a
yeah.
wet pile of leaves. It's going to go flying. Long Boy, we have not checked out your channel yet, but we'll definitely check it out. And if you do end up demoing it, make a video. We'll definitely take a look at it.
Yeah. Do we want
This
to do
guy's coming at
the,
65.
you want to do the giveaway now? I mean, we could stay on here.
Yeah.
I don't-
You want to make make like a post on a story. Say we're live right now.
What, on Instagram?
Yeah.
Okay. I'll just take a picture of the thing. I'm working on there's like apps for this live thing that make it easier for interaction and everything be more professional next time, but I didn't have quite the time to set it up.
Alexander said, I really enjoy the commercial Ego backpack battery. I don't know what anyone else's feelings are on electric, but the ones I have, the commercial battery really does a good job, keeps up with my needs. That's all that matters, is that as long as it works for you and your company, whatever you guys have to do to get the job done and it works best for you, that's great. electric might not work because someone might have a 5-acre yard, but if you're doing small quarter-acre lots that you're blowing off the sidewalks and everything, and you don't have to even worry about gas, go for it. All that matters is that it's getting the job done for you and putting money in your pocket.
Yeah.
Um,
You can put a link on the story.
Mhm.
You should know that.
Bert said, "How's the cut quality on the Toro Grandstand?" I think it's pretty good. We had an interesting experience this spring with the price of blades going through the roof. I'm a freak. I like to sharpen the blades as frequently as I can to keep everything razor sharp. So we experimented with aftermarket blades off of eBay and Amazon for the Toro. And when I first bought it, obviously it came with OEM blades, but when they started to get it, once it was cutting really good with the new blades, it seemed that it would throw the grass and spread it out farther than the Ferris we have, which the Toro is only a 26 horsepower, and the Ferris is a 37, I think. So it was throwing the grass farther and less clumping. As soon as we switched to aftermarket blades, like the wing in the blades that lifts the grass up was the big problem, and it was cutting like crap. We had the double cut, and we figured, hey, it's new blades. That's not the problem. Is it the belt? Is it the tensioner? And we experimented, and then unfortunately we bit the bullet and bought a whole set of brand new blades, like 12 of them, I think, just to have them. And we went back to OEM blades, and it just cuts great. So that's pretty much it on that. We can pull the mower deck off within 5 minutes with the 4 bolts in the belt to put the mulch bucket on, which you don't have to do. But going up some hills and stuff, when you're loaded with mulch, it was easier to have the mower deck off, which also makes the machine more narrow.
Yeah, it saved $500 in fuel.
Fuel is a big thing, and that's one of our biggest expense, right?
I mean, right now in the fall, we're pushing $200 every day and a half just for equipment.
It's
in
insane.
fuel. But if you're saving $500, just do the math on the long term. Like, it just what else could you put that 500 towards? You could invest it in something else. So $500 is a good amount of money at the end of the year. That's great, and you have all the other things that you can switch the battery into. That's great.
Okay, when first starting up, how many customers did you guys have and compared to your first year? Are you guys doing better, getting more jobs than just when you started up? You can answer the first part, but for the second part, yeah, totally. We're getting more jobs now because our name is out there. Our name is so simple, Ziggy's Lawn and Landscape. Everybody just sees the tree. So advertisement has played a huge role in us getting more jobs. So when you first start out as that small business, which I'm not one to say I have because I didn't start the business, Steve did, but just from what I've seen from him, it's harder to get your name out when you're a small company. You don't have insurance, you don't have equipment, you don't have everything that you need to really run an efficient company yet. So totally, we're getting way more jobs now since we're coming around more and we're building the business.
And then I guess to answer the first part of the question, I mean, I've been working since my dad put me to work when I was 3. I was working with him. Brandon and Renee, I think your son is 3. So I started right when I was his age. And as soon as I could push the mower and put it in the back of my wagon and ride my bike around, that's when I started. But to officially start the business, it was probably, like I said, 2011 or 12 is when I formed the LLC. I probably had 30 or 40 clients in the first year because the neighborhood I grew up in was just dense. There's a lot of properties that I would be able to ride my bike to before I could drive. And of course, back then I was cheaper than everyone else, and that's how everyone starts. But started around 30, and then it went up about 10 every year. At the end of last year, I had about 80, maybe to 85. And my dad, like he was working by himself, he had around 60. And then once we raised the prices and thinned them out, we ended this year at around 125 to 130. But we are learning with everything going on in this economy, it's not better to have more. it's better to have less and charge more and charge the right amount than just have tons and tons of properties. We were running in every which way, driving 20 minutes to go do a house or two, when just figuring out how much everything costs now, it's like the light bulb went off in our head. You need a dense route, as minimal seat drive time as you can. But we're still learning. We've learned a lot of things the hard way.
Yeah,
Which is
how it's done.
which is one of the reasons why we made this channel, is
To save people from doing
to
it
save
our way.
people from having to go all the way around the tree this way when they could just go straight through and figure out, oh, that's how I do it. I don't have to go through all this crap to get there. So,
thank you, Renee. I was starting off. We were like kind of doing our hair and like shaking our arms out and stuff. But yeah, it's been so far we've been doing good, I think. So thank you.
So this is actually, let's show it real quick. This is the logo exactly on all the trucks. So I bought a couple extra of these once we lettered up the trucks, and this is actually the back of our of my wife's bridal shower, our baby pictures, and we just needed like a flat
A poster board.
like a poster board, and we weren't really prepared, but
Yeah.
we're making it work this way.
Yeah. So we use Yard Book. So you can explain that more because you have way more experience with it.
What, for Alexander's
Yeah.
software? Yeah. So I used to use QuickBooks for every single year up to this year, and then the light bulb went off. Like there's got to be an easier way to do credit card billing and estimates and routing and everything, and discovered Yard Book, which has been out for quite some time now. And oh my God, is it night and day? Being able to send everything electronically, there's credit cards on file, send reminders. So yeah, I use Yard Book for everything, and it's absolutely fantastic.
And in the winter, we're going to go into some more videos on that and kind of our business strategy and the works behind the actual work to say. So we're going to do more videos in the winter when we're slow, because like we said, we don't snowplow. So we want to go over some business tips with you guys.
Do you guys, I know Brandon and Renee snowplows, just because discovered them because I was looking for walker mowers one day. I was bored one night and I typed walker mowers and it stumbled upon their page, and I'm happy I'm subscribed to them. They're great people. Check their channel out too.
Yeah.
There's only 13 people watching, and probably
People are coming and going.
Yeah, but check their channel out and subscribe. They have a lot of walker mowers. They work by themselves. They don't have a lot of people. We work by ourselves, so we're kind of similar. And they're not afraid to get their hands dirty. They fix their own equipment, which drives me crazy when all these people on YouTube will make a video of taking their broken machine to the dealer when it's like, oh my goodness, me and Jimmy could fix this in like 5 seconds.
Yeah.
We'd rather make a video on fixing it.
Yeah.
Which is where we're going to come up to next
Yeah,
year, before this goes up.
Yeah. So this one said, it's our first year. I have 4 years experience. My brother is new to landscaping. You guys have any tips? The biggest tip that I will give, as Steve can give his too, is to get your name out there in the simplest form. Your logo, your picture, your trailers, your trucks with your logo is probably the biggest thing. Facebook is a very good tool to advertise on. I'm not saying you have to pay to advertise, but on all of our trucks and all of our trailers, our logo is almost impossible to miss. And we get so many phone calls from people who call and they say, hey, I saw your truck. I saw your logo at XYZ Street or whatever it may be. That's going to be my biggest tip, is actually having something to show that you can't miss for your customers, people who want to potentially have you work for them.
I agree.
Yeah.
I think you hit the nail on the head with that. Also, appearance is our dog's in the picture now. Hi. Appearance is a big thing too. You can't be in like a white like a guinea, not a guinea tea, like a what is it? Like a
It is a gang tee.
like a white guinea t-shirt with like your underwear hanging out. You got to look professional. Like Jimmy said, you have to have your logo stand out, and paid ads are a great idea because, I mean, you can set the limit on Facebook to however far the radius you want to go, like your zip code, and then you can pick how much money you want to spend per day. So I've done it once where I wanted to spend $500 in one day. It reached 100,000 people.
Yeah.
And you just need that one call to come in to be more than $500.
Yeah.
So I put a $500 ad out for one day last fall, and probably got $5,000 or $6,000 worth of leaf cleanups just from that one ad on leaf pickups, like leaf curbside pickup. And then people save it too. They'll take a picture of it, and the following spring or summer, they'll remember that you do this, this, or this, and you could get a paper job from the ad that you put out last year. So you're probably saying $500. That's crazy. If you don't want to start that high, you can put it out for $15 a day, and you just need one customer to sign up. And you could get a $50 lawn, call it $200 a month off of a $15 ad. You just got to gauge where you want to start and where you want to take it to. These channels have saved me, my brother, so much heartache, and it's really awesome to have like-minded people. Well, we really appreciate that comment. That's literally one of the reasons we are making this channel. We said once we get monetized, it's a really cool thing, but we're literally just going to take the money we get, invest it back into the business to help it grow, to help everyone else out here. Jimmy's been in and out of the business because he's been in school, high school, college. He's been helping on all the repairs and everything. And I didn't go to college, so I've been working a little bit longer, but I've been through, I think, as much as you can go through. So just to skip all the crap and try and help everyone out as best as we can, that's the whole point here. Teamwork makes the dream work. Totally agree. We're all in this together.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a neighborhood down here that there's at least 2 landscapers on each street. It's like it's one big town, and just all flat, straight streets that crisscross. And there's 2 landscapers on each street, and everyone you drive by and they give you a dirty look. Like, you're stealing my business. There are so many houses that there could be another 100 landscapers in the area, and there's enough work for everyone. So everyone's in this together, like as a group, but I mean, you're taking care of your family and whatnot, but everybody's in this together. So don't be staring down fellow landscapers. Yes, they're competition, but everybody, there's enough work for everyone.
We're all doing the same thing.
There's enough work for everyone. I'm going to answer Brandon and Renee's of your leaf setup, guys. Thank you. That took a lot of years to get it exactly where we want it right now. Like we said, we tried every which way on how to set up the leaf sucker and everything, but we got it nailed down now, which we think for us is the most efficient we're going to get. I used to snowplow for years and years and years. I mean, I got my license at 17. So say I snowplowed for the first 6 years of having my license. This will be the second winter in a row that I'm not doing it anymore. I just couldn't stand it. I could not stand being up for 2 days straight I mean, I know the money's worth it, but the truck's breaking down and blah, blah, blah. And I'm usually, the past few winters, I haven't been very lucky. I've had to have a different surgery on a different part of my body the past 3 winters in a row. So I needed the time to recuperate and get my body right for the upcoming season. We'll probably get back into plowing at some point. But if you budget right, in my opinion, and you can make enough money in the 9 months out of the year and you can just relax in the wintertime, we like to buy and sell trucks and redo motors and do everything. We make our money on that. So that's why we don't currently plow. I like it if I can do it during the day and I'm not bound to. We like to do a lot of traveling in the winter. My wife and I like to go to Florida and do some trips and whatnot, but just being bound to this snow plowing schedule, I guess, when we can't find anyone to work to cover for us, it was just tough. But we'll definitely be getting back into it at some point.
Oh, and then this one's about the leaf loader or the debris loader. Billy Goat, Little Wonder.
many horsepower is the Little Wonder?
18.
18.
Brandon and Renee have
Yeah.
the same one as us.
Okay. It is well, what is Bill? I don't even know what Billy Goat makes now.
Billy Go has a 13 horsepower and 18. They have their 31. They have a 37. But it's funny because you can.
Well, but yeah, to answer the question, yeah, we love ours. Ours, I have the way it's set up. They have electric start. They do a fine job. So really, we don't have any complaints. I don't think we've really had any issues with them, right?
No.
So one has like a throttle cable that's loose, but that's an easy fix. Other than that, I mean, we haven't really had any issues other than just changing oil and changing the batteries when they go dead.
Yeah. But going from, and there's a lot of, in Lawn Care Mafia, there's a lot of posts of people going from, how do I make it more efficient to load the leaves in the bed of my truck? You can get a leaf sucker, a leaf loader of whatever horsepower you can get. It will be better than picking your leaves up and putting them in your truck. So going from that method, or even like dumping them in a pail into the truck, an 18 horsepower is more than enough. So when I went from, I actually had a Billy Goat 16 horsepower was my first leaf loader. And it was an older one. It was pre-owned, of course, but it was to me, it was a beast. It worked great compared to how I used to put them in the bags back in the day for customers before I couldn't drive. But went from a 16 horsepower Billy Goat up to an 18 horsepower, and just the 2 horsepower made a huge difference. And then got introduced to the Little Wonder, which just seems to be better built, in my opinion. It's got a bigger impeller fan. I think the chutes that come up into the truck are more rounded, obviously, on the Billy Goat, and they wear out at the top. So you're sucking up sticks and whatever. Wears a hole in there, and there's always metal plates welded to the top of those on Facebook for people selling them. But the Little Wonder 18 horsepower is great in my opinion. But we usually use the Freighton 31 horsepower because obviously more horsepower the better. And we're never getting rid of the little ones because they're always on the truck. We can take the truck and go somewhere. We don't need to bring the big sucker if we don't need it.
But yeah,
Snow removal will steal your soul. That's exactly how I was feeling a few years ago, recovering from surgery, sitting in a truck at 3 a.m, and just not getting paid till April or May for some of the accounts. It just, at the time, it wasn't worth it for me. But that's why we like to budget right. And right now we don't need to do snow removal in the winter.
So the 16 horse, like your Billy Goat was, I mean, I know you didn't think it was necessarily underpowered, but comparatively, yeah, it is.
As your business grows,
Yeah,
your
yeah.
equipment needs to grow.
Yeah,
Or will grow with it. So once you run a 16 for a while, you will get tired of it and you'll want to upgrade, and then you'll keep wanting to upgrade and upgrade. But a 16, it does the job.
yeah,
But if you have giant piles of leaves, you'll sit there all day long wishing you had something bigger. But if that's all
Yeah.
you can afford and work, it's perfect. It works. It'll work and serve its purpose perfectly.
and then yeah. So like Bernd said, graduate to a bigger equipment as time goes on, as your business gets bigger and the demands get greater for the bigger equipment.
It's tough too because you only use these leaf loaders for 5 weeks out of the whole year. So
Yeah.
it's the new 37 horsepower tow behinds are 10 to 12 grand for same thing. I mean, you can use the stand-on blowers. We use them year round, but the leaf suckers are only typically for October, November. But if you have the gross revenue to justify having that big of a machine, which is, I found the 31 horsepower Freighton for a really good deal from a older man going out of business. So I was able to get that last summer. I wish I would have got it sooner because it just saves so much time. But I would love to upgrade to a 37 maybe in the next couple of years. Joshua said I started with a 6 horsepower. It was great when I first started, got tired of having to hand load, so upgraded to an 18. So yeah, even a 6 horsepower will still save your back from having to pick the leaves up, and then upgraded to an 18 horsepower. 18 is pretty much what most companies around here have, right?
Yeah, I think most of what we're seeing is
Yeah.
I mean, obviously, some people have the tow behinds like we do.
Yeah.
Some people have the tow behinds. We saw one the other day. It was a tow behind, same one that we have the freight in, but it was mounted in a trailer. It wasn't on wheels, so that was interesting.
Yeah.
But the Skag 37 horsepower is ginormous.
Mhm.
It is. I mean, it puts
The hose is like this big.
yeah. We both like the Skag Windstorm too, but he's talking about the big leaf loader, right?
The tow behind.
Yeah.
Yeah. But the hose, the intake.
Oh yeah,
hose
I know.
Is like this big.
Yeah.
And that's the thing too. People jump around all the time with, I like this brand lawnmower, but then I like this brand leaf blower, and then this brand leaf sucker, and mixing everything. You can get really, really good fleet deals if you can find
one.
If you can find the brand that meets up with all of your expectations and needs. You can save 10 to 15% if you buy a bunch of things at once.
That's what you guys did on the Ferris, right?
Yeah, so my father, when he was in business, bought the Ferris Hurricane blower. He bought a 36 Hydro walk behind, and then I bought my Ferris Z3. And the dealer honored that we were two separate companies, but buying the machines together, and we saved 15% off of that giant bill of the three pieces of equipment. So
Yeah.
Skag has the leaf loaders. They have the Windstorm. Their mowers are outstanding. So that's not a bad group to be in for branding. Switching over to Toro, Toro's mowers are outstanding. The blower is not the best for the multi-force, but you can make a good fleet deal out of Toro. Same thing with Ferris and Billy Goat.
You ever invest into a vent track? Those are those big like 4-wheel drive
Out front,
tractors,
out
right?
front, right?
I mean, I don't see we wouldn't. It wouldn't work for us in this property with the properties that we have. I mean,
And
if you had a lot of
the
land,
trailers.
yeah. If you had a lot of land, I mean, those machines are pretty insane from what I've
Yeah.
seen on YouTube. They have like the one video I'm sure other people have seen is a snowblower that they sucked up a bunch of pumpkins with it and they shot them like 200 feet or whatever. Those machines are pretty incredible and they have a bunch of attachments too. But I don't think we would ever do it because it just space in the trailers and everything around us isn't. There's not a need for it. It's too big almost.
Then the problem right now is that fuel is so high that we have this setup so perfect that everything we need fits into one trailer and we can bring one truck and trailer to the job. You see some companies out here with a dump truck with one guy in it, another dump truck towing the leaf sucker, and another dump truck towing the enclosed trailer. The amount of fuel they're burning when they could just consolidate into a truck or two, not 3 or 4. It's just money that you're just giving away. So right now we got everything in one trailer, so it's worked perfectly for us. What's the next piece of equipment you plan on buying? Jim, get your computer out. Let's get approved for something. That's it's an ongoing question and never ending. That I'm always planning on the next thing. Once it's tax time and we go through everything, and it's time for a write-off, we want to be smart on what's next. So I'm leaning towards a new skid steer, honestly. Before I bought my first house, we had a Bobcat T300, a track machine that I bought used. And in order to get the house, I had to sell the Bobcat, and that thing could pick a pallet of pavers all the way up to the sky. But we had to get rid of that just to get the money to put towards the house. So we have the New Holland skid steer that works. It's great for most jobs. It can pick up half a pallet of pavers, but it really, really sucks when you got to carry pavers to your destination. So I'm leaning towards a skid steer. I don't know. We have the excavator. I don't know what else.
Yeah, I remember
We're good on trucks, so I don't really know.
When we had to do we were doing the paver job this, I guess it was summer, late summer, but we were doing a paver job and like the machine we had, it couldn't pick the pavers up. Even we had to unload like half the pallet. It's been like that forever. We've been doing that forever, and we're just a pain in the butt. And on the hottest day of the year,
it works because we.
And then it just
when it takes you that much time to go through each paper and put them on another pallet, you're just thinking, wow, it'd be nice to have that big machine that can actually pick it up. But
Well, what would you say for the company to
buy?
Yeah.
No, I would say skid steer too. I mean, mowers were good on, unless it was like an aerator maybe or something like
that's
that,
it,
like we said.
before. Yeah.
Definitely not trucks. We've kind of learned that one a little bit the hard way
And had
with
bad luck.
the
Horrible
6.7 Power Stroke that Steve bought. It was nothing but trouble. They're good engines, but he had fuel related issues and under warranty. The one thing that I don't like reading on comments when I do come across them on any site is like when people say, oh, it's no big deal, it's covered under warranty, but then you got to stop and get the truck or whatever piece of equipment it is into the warranty, and then they take weeks and weeks and weeks to fix it.
Yeah.
As a
That's
business,
the
you can't shut down like that and not have your equipment. Even if it is covered under warranty, you need it.
Mhm.
So that was a problem with that truck. It was covered under warranty, but it was
Lost it for
such a
6
hassle.
weeks.
You
Lost
didn't
it
have
for
the
6
truck.
weeks.
So learned it the hard way with that. The 7.3 Godzilla that he owned had a transmission problem, was covered under warranty, but we ended up just getting rid of it because we've gone back to 7.3 Power Strokes, which we've been running forever, but we don't have a need to have a truck payment. We'd rather have a payment on another piece of equipment like skid steer, whatever else we can put towards working the truck. Every truck does the same thing. It pulls the trailer. It's just we don't need the nicest trucks in the world to get the job done.
I guess just to add to that too, like we said, we wanted to make the video of my gold pickup truck, putting the brand new motor in it and showing everything that was involved. We just didn't get around to it in the winter. It was really cold. We were just looking to get it done. But once the 7.3 is, in our mind, it is bulletproof, but now think they're 20 years old. They got a lot of miles on it. When you see a 7.3 with 250,000 miles, think it's not really that many miles for 20 to 23 years old. It's really not that bad. I'd rather buy a truck. My gold pickup truck is 429,000 miles with a brand new engine and transmission. I'd rather have something have a little bit higher miles than have like 50,000 miles, because it was either beat the crap and towed with every day, plowed with every winter, or it just sat, which is the worst thing that can happen to them is they sit and they get leaks. We deviated off of that, but pretty much probably something machine wise versus equipment versus like a truck. We're going to look towards equipment. Renee, I saw a little Wonder 35 lease back the other day at our local dealer. It wasn't a tow behind, can mount it to a truck or a trailer. It was a 35 horsepower. Was it a skid mount like your guys' 18 horsepower was, but it was bigger, obviously. We were going to try to mount our 31 horsepower tow behind, take it off of the trailer assembly, and mount it to the dump truck, which I'm still determined that we will do that by next fall, just to avoid having something behind us so we can tow another landscape trailer. We are motivated. We ran out of time this fall with all of our work and projects, but it is a skid mount. Maybe that's something to look into.
Yeah.
Brandon, maybe that'll be our next piece of equipment we're going to buy. Your wife just got us to spend all our money. That's cool. We'll look into that. Our 7.3 is a baby with 151. Yeah, that's nothing because they stopped making the 7.3 in the first half of 2003. So over 20 years old, that's nothing.
My personal truck has 321 on it, the one that I drive, and then yours is a new engine now, but yours is what, 400?
429.
429.
Yeah.
Both the work trucks have, I think we call it the green one. It's black now. Has 150,
151 or 2, and and then the other one has the same.
Yeah. So nice. Another company in town runs all older 7.3s. They have a mix of Fords and Internationals, maybe 6 or 7, all 7.3 highly maintained and in great shape. Yeah, like we said, I mean they'll run forever as long as
problem is the rust.
Yeah, problem around here is rust, and they have transmission problems, but you get your use out of them. We'll say that. I mean, we've had the dad's truck had what, 2 transmissions already?
2,
But I
it's
mean,
on
it
a
pulls
trailer
every day.
single day.
So I mean, yeah, we've gotten our use out of the
And he didn't
transmissions.
change the fluid ever.
Yeah. So
Uh,
as long as they're taken care of. The reason
Yeah.
your truck had to have a new engine was because they didn't keep up with
They
it.
didn't keep up with it, and
Yeah.
the rust got to the cylinder heads, and the rust was actually on the cylinder heads.
Yeah.
And instead of dumping all the money into that motor, I found this other motor that was literally brand new on the shelf, and redid the whole thing. We say we do the giveaway in like 6 minutes, like an hour 10.
Yeah.
That's
Okay.
good.
Yeah.
Power strokes
really good
outlive
comments.
their owners. Yes, 7.3s.
They do. 6 liters. I like 6 liters because I have a 6 liter I swapped into a Ford Bronco, and I do like it because I know how to work on it. But yeah, traditionally speaking, 6 liters, 6.4s didn't really outlive their owners too well. And
Hold the
neither.
fork down for a second.
Yeah, and then 6.7s have been doing great. Obviously, we had one that had fuel issues, but that's just because the fuel quality is not like it was in the previous days. But do we chip the diesels? My personal truck is chipped. It has bigger injectors and a bigger turbo, but the work trucks are not. I've been begging Steve to chip them because I know we'll pick up a couple miles per gallon, but there's no need really for it. I mean, they make enough power to get the job done, but me, I like modifying my vehicles, so I want to chip them, but I don't know. It's his decision because at the end of the day, the work trucks are his. But yeah, not the 6.4s though. Yeah, I mean, I don't know if anybody else watches Power Stroke help videos, but we watch them a lot. From what I've seen, we've had a couple parts 6.4s come through that like barely ran or ran halfway or had like a torn up cylinder or something. But yeah, every single thing that I read about them, they're the biggest pieces of garbage in the world. A lot of people, I don't know, I see people in comments beg to differ, whoever, have deleted them, but yeah, I've heard nothing but problems with 6.4s. Knowing what you know about Walker mowers, will you ever buy a new one or just fix them up? Well, the one that we have that we use the most is brand new this year. So we'll probably keep running that one for a while. And the one that we had is 5 years old that we still have, has like 16 or 1700 hours on them. And we haven't really had many problems with it, engine related. I think we changed a hydro and maybe a set of gearboxes because something got messed up, and maybe a blower fan. So as long as that one keeps living, we're going to just fix it. But I don't know about buying new ones. When Steve comes back, we'll see what he says about that. Of all the equipment you have run by far, which one do you guys like to use the most? Any specific mower or brand? We'll each take a shot at this. I'll start off and say, I personally, for cutting grass, I like the Ferris stand-on mower that we have for cutting grass and getting the job done because it's quick. It does a good job. I think it cuts better than the Toro does that we have. And it's nice when you don't have to bag the grass like the Walker. The Walker's a dog when you have to use it on a big field or something like that. So I like the Ferris. That's going to be my choice. But Steve, read the comment above that.
Which one?
Because you missed that one. Knowing what you know about the Walker mowers.
Buy a new one.
I said, obviously, we just bought the new one. That
Yeah,
was
we
this
bought
year.
the new one in February because of purchasing my father's accounts, and he was running the lawn route for the majority of the year until we jumped in at the end of this summer to help him. I bought a new one because I needed a decent write-off for this year. And the 2017 is not at the end of its life yet, but it's got its little hiccups and bruises here and there. But I just wanted a brand new machine to give to him because he likes to go a little bit faster than he needs to. But just to have the peace of mind for this first year, having him run all we're doing like I said, 130 a week and the walker's pretty much used on every single account. So just to give him a brand new one for the peace of mind while me and Jimmy were venturing into pavers and all of the other stuff we were doing.
Did you see the comment? It said, "Do you chip your diesels?" I said, I have been begging you that we should chip them because
Jimmy wants to chip the dump trucks so they blow.
No, I don't care about that.
Down the
I don't
street,
care about
but,
that. I mean, you pick up a couple extra miles per gallon. I mean, it is an initial investment,
Yeah.
but
I mean,
at the same time, I mean, we don't really. They get the job done, like I said, so there's no need. It's just a work truck, but from an economy standpoint with the fuel, maybe.
it works.
Oh yeah. So then, what's your favorite brand of all the mowers you've run? I said the Ferris because I like how it cuts and I like how quick it is.
I like Walker.
Yeah.
Probably. Yeah. Without attachments involved, I'd take the Walker all day just because it's comfortable. You can flip the front deck up and service everything. You can open the hopper and your engine's right there. And it's just very, very easy to work on. There are a lot of grease points and whatnot, but it's just very easy to work on. Hello, Doug. What's up? How you doing? Doug from First Response Land.
One of
He's
our local buddies.
one of our competitors. Just kidding. He's also here from North Jersey. Check his channel out. He started last year, probably around the same time we are, and he's the next town over. So good to see you here.
We'll read his comment, and then here comes some spam comments. Yeah, we'll do the giveaway after we're done with this one.
How's the Skag doing? Any more issues with the nozzle turning? So no, we put a brand new motor on it, actuator motor last week. Greased up the gears, make sure nothing was bent, and it's been working great.
Yeah, someone made a comment that said don't put the grease on there because it's supposed to be run dry, but we had already done it at this point, and it doesn't really seem to make a difference. It's been spinning faster than it ever has, I swear. But
Doug, I would not hesitate to buy one of those if you are looking. You said next fall into buying a stand-on blower. I would definitely use that.
Yeah.
Look into that one. You can even try mine out if you want to text me one day.
Oh, and if anybody has, I did figure out a way. If you watch the video, I did figure out a way to get that motor that turns the nozzle. I figured out a way to get it done cheaper than buying one from the dealer, because I actually back sourced a car window motor, and I was able to piece the motor side and the gear mechanism together as one for $30 compared to $170?
170.
So I'm gonna make a video on that. If anybody has a Skag, I will make a video on how I did that.
That's a funny thing Jimmy does. He can.
Yeah, I'm very good at figuring out these little small details, and
he'll merge something. He'll take like that lamp in the computer and make it work for our business.
yeah,
But
I'm just used to it.
But then he'll drive with the hopper up on the walker by accident, or he'll do something funny like that. That's just funny.
All right. Do we want to? We'll keep reading the comments after, but do we want to do the giveaway?
Yeah, let's do the
All right.
giveaway real
Okay.
quick. I'll keep talking while you go through it.
So we had 63.
What is the craziest fail you've experienced while out on the job site, or does your equipment generally function well? Do you mean fail by something happened to the client's property or something happened to the equipment? The most recent one, if Doug's still watching this, I told him this last week. The Skag windstorm flipped upside down. I was backing down a hill, and it was really, really cold, and I was adjusting my gloves, and I was backing down, and I slipped off the handles. By the time I grabbed them, I pushed forward, and the thing flipped upside down. That's my most recent fail. The walker mower tumbled down the hill 5 or 6 years ago when it was very wet out, and I jumped off, and it tumbled down a mountain. When I was first starting, I nicked the side of my uncle's house with my excavator about 7 or 8 years ago. A lot of funny things that, looking back now, was funny, but at the time was not. But that's a cool question. Do you want to do this?
Yeah, I'm good. I put together a spread. I don't know if you guys are going to be able to see this, but I put together a little spreadsheet of all of the comments we got between the two videos. And we, like I said, we have 62 because the first one is just a title. So
He's going to
we have 62. I'm going to put in my phone. I have a generator, and I'm going to pick a random one right now. Okay, so we got number 34.
Okay, so we got number 34, whose YouTube handle is Ghostface Killer on our screen here. So what we're gonna do, congratulations to you, you won the gift card.
Not sure if you're watching.
Yeah, well, I'm not sure if you're watching, but we're gonna reply to your comment, and we're gonna ask you for your email, because we're gonna email you to verify, make sure that we're definitely getting to you, because we want you to give us your email. So we'll reply to your comment, and then we'll send you an email, and then we're gonna send. What are we doing? The gift card online, right?
We'll do it both ways. It depends where you're
Yeah.
located.
If you're not in
United
the
States,
United States, we're gonna have to do it over the send an
we can send
gift card.
an e-gift card,
Yeah.
which is the best
But
way.
if you're in the United States, we can just,
We'll drop it in the
mail you
mail.
one,
It's no
but-
problem.
like I said, we will we'll get in contact with you. But yeah, so before we continue reading these comments, I want to thank every single person who commented done and who watched the videos. We couldn't have gotten to this number without every single person who subscribed, so we thank you guys. It's been great, and we're going to do another giveaway at 2,000, and at this rate, I mean, shoot, we got almost 100 subscribers in 3 days or something.
I mean,
So
some of
hopefully it
these-
comes quick, but
some of the bigger YouTubers who have
Yeah.
100,000, 200,000, this is a joke to them, but this is we're very appreciative of this. We're
Yeah.
both very humble people. We come from a humble family. And we want to turn this 1K into 10K
yeah.
by next year sometime. Might be a crazy goal to set, but I'm in the process of moving. My wife and I sold our house. We're in an apartment right now, so that's why we're kind of set up like this. But we're moving in the next 2 weeks. We're looking to make a room in our house just for YouTube, with a computer and the camera and everything to set up to make it easier. Get a sign with the logo and everything. Get it like a legit room. So that's where hopefully the next live will take place.
Yeah.
Lawn Boy, I like.
Yeah.
Want to
So-
read that one? The
Oh,
walker.
I like the walker for the flip up deck. It's been so wet in the spring and so much dew in the fall. Makes it way nicer to clean the deck. Yeah, we agree with that. It's fairly easy to clean those decks. We actually have flat blade,
Scraper.
almost like a
It's a
spackling
putty-
knife.
it's a putty
Yeah,
knife,
like a
yeah.
spackling knife that we have in our trailer at all times to clean those out. But yeah. First response land. Guess we'll be ordering one and getting the link for the $30 part. Yeah, it's the video I'll put together on that part. It's on Amazon, and it only took a day to get to us. So I mean, if you do end up ordering one, we're probably gonna buy 5 of them.
Yeah,
just
we'll
to
just
have
buy
them.
them. We can sell them
Yeah.
to Doug for $31.
Yeah.
Invest it back into YouTube.
We're just gonna buy them, and I mean, you can get 5 of them for the price of one that the dealer wants, and I mean, it's 3 screws to undo and put the new one in, and then 2 wires. So very simple.
Yeah. But just a comment for Doug, around here, Butler, Bloomingdale, we find that we don't even touch the stand-on blowers. Obviously, with having to pick the leaves up or whatever, we use the walker mower around here. The Skag would just blow them into the next person's property. But if you are going up into Kinnelon and I don't know, Pumpton Plains or somewhere around here, they're perfect. Definitely text me before we put the equipment away for the year. You can try out both stand-on blowers to see which one you'd like better. We answered Alexander. Bird said, soon you guys will have sponsorships and companies reaching out to you and giving you free stuff.
I actually, I had on my other channel, I had a bunch of Amazon companies reaching out to me, and I did a few of them and made a video on whatever they sent me. But yeah, hopefully that'd be great. That'd be awesome. We want to, we like reviewing equipment and exposing it for what it is. So I don't know if everybody's going to like giving that stuff, because we are very picky, but we're picky in a good way, because we want to be realistic in every scenario that piece of equipment is going to be used in. There's nothing worse than buying something and then expecting it to do something and it's not capable of doing it. So that's why we make the videos.
To talk about that, I bought before the hurricane blowers came around, I was still in high school. I bought an 18 horsepower Billy Goat self-propelled blower. And I had a freighted one before that, and I assumed self-propelled meant it went forwards and reverse. And I found out it only went forwards. and I spent all this money on it, and I got it, and I realized it didn't go in reverse. I just thought that was common knowledge, and that was a big selling point for me because backing up hills, it wouldn't work. I'd have to turn it around and drive it forward. So I ended up selling it the same month I bought it for a little bit less and going right to the hurricane blower. But we are picky, but it's to show in our videos to people who are looking for it. Hey, why we went through it. If what we're showing you guys on our videos is that, okay, this is the way to do it, but this equipment will work or it might not work. We'd like to just show you that it works. And if it doesn't work, we'll show it to you. So when you go to purchase something, you know, from our videos or whatever, that it might work for you, it might not. So that's a good main reason why we're doing this. But we're going to call it the YouTube room, like an office / YouTube room. We're hopefully going to have people's hats and shirts and stickers and whatnot, and pretend this is the wall and have it all
around us.
That'd be
cool.
hooked up. That would be really cool.
Yeah. Yeah, this was a great live video. Yeah, thank you. I don't know how much longer are we going.
I don't
know. Yeah, we don't really have a set schedule, but on that topic, we want to do more live videos. So if you guys definitely want to see more live videos, that's something that we can do because we like talking just straight up and answering questions. And pretty much, yeah, that's why we put together the YouTube because we like having this back and forth dialogue. Now we're having more people subscribe to the channel, so the comments have been getting better. And it's just, it's fun. It's a lot more fun than I even thought it was going to be.
And this winter, we're thinking about starting like a business class almost. We're professionals in the business. When it comes to the business part of it, there's still stuff we need to learn, of course. Nobody knows everything. I feel like we know a little bit more than some other companies around, and they know some more stuff than we do. But we know our limits. We know we don't know everything, but we are thinking of doing like free consultations this winter in the off season, just to answer people's questions, whether it be through the live chat, whether it be through like an online class once we make our website or something to that along those lines. We'll see.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. We don't. Doesn't have anything else.
Wait to see if we get another comment.
Yeah. See, now I'm thinking more and more about our logo and everything. Maybe we should do some merch one day. Or
we had someone
maybe for the next giveaway we do some merch too.
We had someone message us asking for one of our hats. Believe it or not, I think these hats with the embroidered, is that what it's called?
Yeah.
Embroidered logo. These were like $40 each, and they took a month to get to us because of the tree and all the color and whatnot. But
we only have like two, I think. But yeah, I know Burns Lawn Care wanted to do like a merch swap or a sticker swap, which we're totally down to do that, by the way. So
we'll be done in a couple weeks.
Yeah.
2 to 3, probably 3 weeks will be wrapped up for the season, give or take. We have stickers. We'll get in touch with you guys and drop them in the mail, swap them, hang them up behind us on our wall.
For whoever's watching,
can we see who's watching?
I don't know. I don't think we can see exactly who's watching. For whoever's watching, I have a question for you guys. What is like another video that you guys want to see? I know we've been posting a lot of what we think you guys want to see or what we want to show you, but that's my question for you guys in this live stream is if you have a video, just drop it in the comments and we'll try to make it if it's something that we have. So Lawn Boy said, so how old are you guys if you don't mind? I'm 22. Like Steve said, I just graduated college, so this is my first official year full time. I've been doing this for a while on the side and part time and in the summers. But yeah, I'm 22. Steve?
I'm 27. I'll be turning 28 in January. So I want to see the whole fleet.
The entire setup.
Yeah.
So
So
we can totally do
we
that
can
from
do that.
start to finish, pretty much of everything that we own. Like we do have a good amount of equipment, but that one might have to wait until you have your house, right? To have everything in one spot.
probably.
Because all of our stuff right now, since Steve's in the process of moving, everything's kind of scattered in a bunch of different places right now to have everything set up for one video. So it's when we do that in a couple weeks, maybe 2
Yeah.
or 3 weeks.
We will have I drop my own driveway back. It's weird. I'm in an apartment right now. My house, I had a spot where I parked everything in the big garage, and I made a video last fall. Jimmy's the primary editing guy and putting the videos together and filming. Last fall, I put a video together myself, which you can probably tell by the quality of the video is not the best. But I did a video of most of the equipment at the time, but it was just tough where I was living. There wasn't enough space. The street was very narrow, and to just have even 2 trucks next to each other was a lot. So it would be really cool to have all the videos in one spot.
Yeah.
Lawn Boy's 46. He should be a
Yeah.
lawn guy.
Uh,
That's cool.
Yeah. Also with the entire setup too. Yeah, I think it'd be a good video.
Lawn Boy's from Verona, right?
No, Long Boy's from Pittsburgh.
Oh, he's from Pittsburgh, and Mike
Yeah.
in New Jersey.
He's from- yeah. But yeah, I think the entire setup video would be great because I was doing some work yesterday, and I'm thinking like, oh well, people don't even know that this is our equipment. Like, what if we introduced everything that we had to you guys when I'm doing this maintenance work or Steve's doing it or whatever? That's something that we can make a video on because then you guys know that we own it and stuff. I didn't feel right to make a video on something, just throw it into the dark. Like, you guys have known that we've had this forever, but we're definitely going to do that.
It's tough too because, like I said, we're both so humble that when we show our equipment, you sometimes get comments that it's mommy and daddy's money. You see that on a lot of other people's channel and whatnot. But I had the mindset from day one that nobody wants to work. You can't find employees. So these equipment are your employees. So if you invest your money into them and they get paid off, you own them forever. That's probably one of the biggest things that I did when I graduated high school was I'm going to work by myself to start, invest my money into the equipment, and then by the time most kids my age are coming out of college, all of my stuff is paid for, and I'm ready, I'm rolling. So in my opinion, the Skag Windstorm, the hurricane blower, whichever one you're using on the job, it replaces a minimum of 4 people with backpack blowers on one machine that you know is going to show up to work every single day. It's going to break down here or there, but it's better than people not showing up to work or having 4 backpack blowers running, burning fuel. I'd rather have one piece of equipment. It has its limits and it can't do certain things, both of the big blowers, but I bought them because I didn't have anyone to work with me, and I had all this work to do, and it was just me. So why not invest it into something that, the way everything's going, you can almost sell these things for what you paid for, which is crazy to even say that, but that's just how everything's going right now.
Yeah. Have you ever thought about renting out your equipment?
We were actually talking about this
This morning.
this morning, but for a lot of this year, it's
See,
like some of this equipment.
$250.
Yeah, some of this equipment just sits, like we said, it just either sits sometimes or, you could be making money doing nothing. I just own it. It takes money to make money. You could make money doing nothing, having your equipment, just owning it,
And the
being able
maintenance
to
is
rent
the
it
only,
out.
only
Yeah.
thing you have to do is the maintenance on it.
So yeah, we've been aerators. That's what we were thinking. Like, man, we could rent out aerator if we owned one, but we're going forward for next year. We're starting to plan all this extra stuff on additional ways to make money. We have a lot of more plans for the year, which is going to come into play in the winter when we're off and we have time to make videos on it and discuss it.
Yeah, but I mean, this is the start for us in terms of YouTube. Like Jimmy said, we are going to venture into investment properties, rentals, possibly garden center. Who knows where this is going to take us, but we are trying to figure out where to put the money that you make from the business, what's the best thing to do with it. And renting is definitely an idea we're tossing around to buy certain things, not to bring them into business and rent them at the same time, but just specifically have them for renting. See, Brandon put here, you can rent the Windstorm for $250 for the day. When I was paying for it, I just paid it off recently, but I was paying, I think, $239 a month for the machine. If you can make that in a day, all the homeowners are going to want to rent it in the fall. It'll pay for itself in no time. So it takes money to make money. We're not there yet where we can jump into the rental just yet, but hopefully in the next year or so we can start really digging into that. And like he wrote there, $500 a day for a skid steer. That's my excavator payment was like the high 600s for a used excavator. So the skid steer is probably around the same, but you can almost get your money back for the whole month by renting it out for a day.
Yeah. These are actually great
Read,
comments coming up.
C&B, right?
I work by myself at 19 doing 50 lawns. The kids my age don't like to work or want to. Yeah, I mean, we're not that old, but it seems like a pastime for people working hard nowadays. Everything is like, nothing's physical labor anymore. Nobody really seems to know how to work on stuff or do anything anymore. And at 19, I mean, you're no different than where Steve was.
Did you go to college, C&B, lawn care? Are you in college or 50 lawns is right about the same I was doing, but you get to take all the money home at the end of the day. So that's great.
Yeah. Keep up the good work.
Yeah. 19-year-olds, nobody wants to work. If you're out there doing it by yourself, props to you, because nobody this day and age, young or old, wants to work. They just want to sit home.
Yeah. First response line. Every time I loan something out, it comes out back broken. And Lawn Boy said the same thing. He'd be worried about people breaking it. That's why we were hesitant about renting out our excavator, was because when we need it, we don't want it to be broken. It would almost have to be a piece of equipment that we don't need.
Yeah.
That if it is broken, okay, well, we can take this second to fix it or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But it would also have to be in relatively good shape. Possibly,
We've been
most
looking,
likely brand new, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
But you have to look into insurance for a rental. If that's the route you're going to go, and terms in a contract for if it's like operator negligence, if it's like a wear item. I'm sure all the rental places we've rented before, but we'd like to look into that more, where if they flip the machine upside down, that's not our fault, that's theirs. That's a whole nother topic. But Cottom's Landscaping, would you recommend buying an older skid steer versus renting one? The one we have now is a 2005. It only has 700 hours. We bought it from the original owner for $7,000. A new skid steer, like we said, is between 50, 70 grand. So you could rent one for $300 to $500 for the day, or you could simply just buy an older one that works good. I mean, if you're not using it primarily every single day, I would rather buy one than have to rent one every single time. Unless you're renting one every couple months, I'd rather rent one then. But if you're using it maybe 3-4 times a month, I'd say buy. And if you're only using it maybe once a month, maybe rent until you build up enough capital to buy a new one or go that route.
Yeah. Rent a Windstorm for 30 days and it's nearly paid off. Well, that's the truth right there.
That's the truth. You get it paid for in the whole month of October, and then the lifespan of the equipment's probably 5 or 6 years, and then you got pure profit for the next 5 years straight.
Yeah. CB answered your question. I go to college, all-night classes.
And you work during the day. And we can't even find anyone to work.
Yeah.
And you're
Good for
working
you.
during the day.
Yeah.
Where do you go to college, if you don't mind me asking? And are you majoring
studying?
in landscape class, like landscape design? I went to college for
A year and a half.
not even a year for landscaping classes. I took all of the design classes and then skipped all the general education classes, and it really wasn't beneficial. But
I went to college, but I got my degree in mechanical engineering. I didn't do anything with landscaping, but like I said, I've always been attached to this business, so it just gave me a different angle to bring some positives to the business, because I actually have like the engineering mindset, problem solving mindset that I was taught in college. At Lawn Boy, I rent stuff all the time from other landscaping companies. It's only equipment And yes, there will be repairs, but when you know how to fix everything, it won't hurt as much. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, when you know how to fix everything, that's a huge saving of money and time in this business is when you actually know how to work on the stuff and fix it when it's broken.
And
So
watching their videos, rebuilding engines
yeah,
from scratch. The crankshaft in your video was all scored up. I love that type of stuff, watching engine teardowns and rebuilds.
wait, so for I got a question for you guys too. If that pink Walker mower, did you guys take that apart and paint that yourself? Because if you did, you did a really good job on it.
That really pops.
Yeah.
It's really cool.
He goes to Keene.
Oh, yeah, that's
not
right
that
there.
far, right?
That's not far. We've
Yeah.
played basketball there.
Business major. Business majoring is a great major because at the end of the day, it is a business, and like they teach you the ins and outs of how to. I wish I had more business knowledge. I was an economics minor, but not business. So
They built the entire machine.
yeah, that's incredible. I saw that. I was like, wow, it looks perfect. So
Yeah, that's awesome.
yeah, that was really cool.
Did you put a story on?
Yeah, I did.
You were live?
I did. I think that's when we had like 17 at one point. It would have been a lot of them. But let's see what else. I wonder if Dad ended up coming on. Oh, it's Cotham's Landscaping. You guys must be near each other then.
Massachusetts.
Yeah. Who was the one who called us about the Walker mower attachment?
The leaf blower?
Yeah. Which one was that?
I'm not sure. We got a phone call on the office line asking for the owner's manual for the hurricane blower attachment that we had for the Walker. And ironically, I sold that attachment last fall to someone up in the Boston area, so it might be around you guys being used. We're in North Jersey. We're in
Morris,
Sussex, and part of Passaic County.
Yeah, C&D Lawn Care. I haven't seen that, but Keene's not far.
CNB, are you going to continue your business once you graduate, or is it a side job that you have, or you're going to continue to grow it? Anyone from the family watching this?
I don't know. Danielle and it's probably still on. I wonder if Mike and Maddie are watching. GIE. Easton.
We didn't go to the GIE this year. We went to the landscape trade show that they have in the Meadowlands here in North Jersey. The GIE, it's tough because it's like a Wednesday or a Thursday to a Saturday right in the middle of the fall. And we're just so busy we can't even take the 2 seconds to take off. I really wish they would plan it for like the weekend or in the winter time or something to that effect, but we'll get there at some point. I like seeing all the videos online of everything there.
I'm going to answer this guy right now before I forget. Do stuff.
Whoever is still watching this, what is the greatest, we'll ask a question, what is the greatest achievement, I guess, you've had this year, and what's the worst, let's say the worst moment of this year? It's the best and the worst moment, I guess I'd say. CMD said, continue to grow it. My parents are making me go to college. All heads of the business. That's great. I was going to say, don't ever give up on your business. There's nothing like working for yourself. I've worked for myself since day one, and I could not see myself working for anyone else. But what am I trying to say? The limits are endless. You can't, is that what I'm trying to say? you can take your business to wherever you want to take it. I think you said you did 50 lawns. You could stay at 50 accounts, or you could triple it and get employees, or you can times it by 10. I mean, the growth, if there's no limit, you can do whatever you want. You get to choose and make your own schedule and do what you want. But my parents made me go to college also, just to my local community college, and I specifically only wanted to take the landscape design classes and then get out as quick as I could to go to work. But good for you. Continue to grow it. Worst time was the 2-month drought. Yes, this summer was very, very rough. And we are customers calling to skip the lawn. We typically have those certain clients that want to skip even when it's not necessary because they want to save money. So we're currently working on redoing our contract to a monthly billing. We bill monthly, but like a monthly schedule where they pay the same amount over 6 or 7 months, regardless if we service their property or not.
Yeah.
Just to eliminate all of that. They don't dictate our income or our schedule. We're making our contract. We're setting it in stone.
Or we'll get someone calling us when we're literally like 5 minutes away from their house. Oh, wait, you can't come today for whatever reason. And then you're on your way to the house or whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah, so we're gonna change that so that it's a monthly billing, but it's still like, oh, okay, well, you want us to skip it, no problem. But
and clients don't understand the month of May with Mother's Day and the grass growing that
sometimes you got to cut.
You got to triple cut it. Yeah, you got to triple cut it in May, but then in August you only have to cut it once or might not need it. It all evens itself out. So we're in the process of redoing all of our contracts.
Yeah.
Lawn Boy buying a dump trailer to help grow and getting the leaf cleanups was good. The bad was dealing with the weather. Yep, that's the ghost that's out there that we can never figure out is the weather. It could be raining one day. It's November and it's 70 degrees today here in North Jersey, which is crazy.
Yeah.
So yeah, the weather, we got to check it every couple hours and see what's going on. Doug with First Response said the best, buying the new truck.
Worst breakdowns.
The new truck looks sweet. Worst breakdowns, we're still limping along our main mower in the trailer. Multiple weed whackers, a lot to do this off season. The drought sucked. Yup. I can help you guys out if you need anything with repairs on maintenance. Like we said, you guys are probably not far behind us. We're done in the next few weeks. Give you a hand fixing anything if you need it. We'll be all fall winter looking for stuff to do. But yep, the drought was absolutely horrific. That's where the paver jobs and everything else we're trying to build up, it comes in so we don't have to worry about grass.
Buying our F550 was the greatest and worst was learning how to run a business. Well, yeah, there's a learning curve that we have come along throughout all these years. We haven't made the best decisions. Sometimes we've learned things the hard way, but it's all part of growing the business. So once you get it and once you understand, though, it's pretty much, you can keep going with it.
Once you figure everything out, you'll be able to pick up on those possible mistakes you might make in the future. You'll be like, okay, I messed up before. Something like similar to that. I now know. Learning the hard way isn't always the worst thing. It just depends on what it is.
Yeah. So you guys want some truck in your Roxbury trailers? Yeah, that's where all of our trailers actually have come from. Is right there.
Yeah.
And that's where we go to the scrap. We do scrap there.
Scrap metal.
Yeah.
The 2 enclosed trailers are from Roxbury Trailers, and then the big open equipment trailers also from there. But
we run Sure Track trailers, which we like them a lot so far. I mean, the smaller one that we have isn't as good as we thought, but that's kind of what we got into. It's not the landscape, like the heavier duty. It was just a regular utility trailer just because of the shortage of everything, but it serves its purpose.
I wonder if we log off and log back on and we'll notify everyone again.
I don't think
On their phone, Ziggy's is live again.
I don't know. That's fine.
You bought a 7x14. Did you buy an open trailer, like an equipment trailer? Oh, enclosed trailers. Cool. Is it a Vino's trailer? I was looking at them this past winter. Vinos, yep. I was very, very interested in one of those because you get the extra space at the front. It just unfortunately wouldn't work with the Mason dumps. With how close the front of the trailer was to the tailgate, it wouldn't work on turns. But with a pickup truck, it would have worked fine. But we ended up buying the 7x16 that we have this past winter.
What piece of equipment of yours has the most hours on it? How many hours does that old Walker have?
It's probably the third backup Walker mower. It has 2,800 hours, I think, with a new engine in it. Believe it or not, one of the Walker mowers that we bought to sell a couple of years back, it had like 8,000 hours on it, and it was, the parts were like zip tied onto it. It was absolutely insane. Yeah, I'd say that Walker with 2,800 hours. I don't like that.
Something with, at one point we've had something like 35 or 4, right?
Well,
One of our Walkers at one
the Walker
point
had 7,900 on it.
7,900.
That one really, really old one.
Oh wow. Yeah.
That probably is the. We don't like to hang on to stuff. Like trucks will keep forever, but like the equipment, I like to cycle it every 3 or 4 or 5 years, just based upon how the accountant tells us what kind of write-off we need, and also just in terms of breakdowns and whatnot. Once the motor goes, you either replace the motor and the transmissions, or you get rid of it and get something else, depending on what it is. Just depends on what breaks first. If it's one transmission here or there, you fix it, but it just all depends on the situation. Doug says he got his enclosed from them in 2018, went with a Lark, unfortunately. Why unfortunately is it not built? I've seen Lark trailers around. I don't think they're the best, but they're not the worst. What kind of problems have you had, if any, with them? And then your dump trailer is a sure track. That's a nice trailer. Hello, Patrick. How are you?
Hey Patrick. How long ago did you buy the business? Sure.
So it was 2 separate businesses. I've had my business going forever. And then this past winter is when I bought my dad's accounts from him. And then I helped him sell all of his equipment because it was all run down. But yeah, this is his first year working for me. And it's so far so good. Just bought a 52 multi-force. What's better, the attachment blower for that or the windstorm?
So we actually did a video on that attachment versus the Hurricane at the time. And so far we're convinced that the windstorm is slightly better than the Hurricane. So we're
he's
going to
talking
go
about the Toro blower.
No, I know that. So if the windstorm beats the Hurricane, we said the Hurricane beats that blower.
Yeah.
That blower is good if since you have that
$10,000.
machine already, that blower is fine if you're upgrading from like a push blower.
It works, but the machine's underpowered.
Yeah, the machine doesn't have enough horsepower to really properly run that blower, especially on the hills. It'll bog down a little bit, but the windstorm for sure is better than that blower. We can say that with certainty.
Yep. Walker mower with 10,000 hours on it. It was on its 4th engine. Holy smokes.
Yeah, that's a lot of hours.
If you do the math, it's right around, I guess, the 2,500 hour mark per engine.
Yeah.
That's crazy. What did the hour meter look like? Did it reset? Did it go down to, did it say
go up that high?
They go to four digits,
4
right?
digits? I don't know. Or do they add a 5th digit?
I don't know.
Because it
Is it
doesn't
digital?
say, because when it's at like 1 hour, it just says 1. It doesn't say
Yeah.
0, 0, 0, 0.
No, I mean if it's one of the older ones.
Oh.
Uh,
Are Walkers better than right standards? Dad had a right standard.
yeah. Our dad had a right stander.
They're
the
hard
same
to
one.
compare though because they're different mowers.
Two
but,
different things.
The
old
I don't know. That's a hard question to answer.
That's tough because the
Depends on what
standard
you're
mower
doing.
is mostly for side discharge and going faster.
Walkers
Sorry.
for bagging.
Yeah, walkers for bagging, doing leaves. It's like asking if walkers standard mower. I'm gonna say the walker's better, I guess, for where we are. but right standers, Ferris stander mowers, they all have their use. But right standers are solid machines. The Lark isn't as strong as the other enclosed trailers. It was more of the trailer's broken down. I need something. Gotcha. Yeah, but I mean, it keeps your equipment dry. It's tough because it doesn't have an engine, so like it's not like as a different model. Has like a different engine in it or whatever. Transmissions. As long as it keeps your equipment dry, you got your big logo on the side of it, and it's an advertising billboard on wheels. I mean, our trailers have problems too, so we have problems with the bearings already, and just it's typical of all enclosed trailers.
Yeah.
What part of Jersey are you from? Oh, so Patrick, you joined a little bit later, I guess. We're from like Morris, Sussex, and Passaic, those counties, and a big kind of circle up here in North Jersey.
Yeah, it was the old analog gauge.
Yeah. So that's like the old dial, right?
I wonder if it reset.
Yeah.
Yeah, right on there. Right on there with that comparison between the walker and the right that hits the right there. That's 100%
we were selling our dad's right stander 52 mower, and it only had 400 hours on it, maybe. It was only 3 years old, but like we said, he was a little bit rough with his equipment. We posted it on Facebook for sale, and someone wondered, did we drive it off the cliff?
Oh, it's the way it was parked in the trailer. The deck on the mower deck on the bottom was like kind of splitting a little bit. One of the welds was broken
because it was
just parked a weird way in the trailer. But I mean, it served its purpose. He pretty much got his money back for that thing, right?
Yeah, I mean, he bought all of his newer equipment 2018, 2019, and then sold it all this past winter and almost got all his money back for everything, since everything almost doubled in price. Not doubled, but almost.
Oh, so Patrick, where are you from? If we're about an hour from you, are you also in Jersey? I'm assuming. Wow, we've been doing pretty good. An hour and 50 minutes. We still have 10 people on here.
Goshen, New York.
Oh, yeah.
That's where we just bought that truck from.
Yeah,
We bought a black F-250 from there a couple weeks ago.
Yep.
That's not far.
Yeah.
We'll go to like 2 hours, maybe.
Yeah, we'll go to 2 hours.
And it's almost been 2 hours. This flies.
Yeah.
Next time I will have I'm going to hope to have the other app on so that it's better. But this is doing fine for us.
Yeah. No, we bought just a 2004 or 5 F-250 just to buy to sell.
It was a used one on Facebook.
Yeah.
It was a 6.0 Power Stroke.
Yeah, but it was only $1,500.
It was $1,500.
And we're just gonna quick flip it this winter.
Yeah. So speaking of winter, in the winter, like we've said, we're gonna do more. We're gonna do more videos on things like that, like truck repair, mower repair, business stuff, like we talked about, and just kind of that sort of thing moving forward in the winter when we're a little bit slower.
It's just tough right now. Like we said, we don't have a specific spot to upload videos and have like a designated area kind of all over the place. But in the next few weeks, we'll be settled in our house, and we'll have a room that's nice and organized. So time flies when you're having fun. We were really nervous at the beginning of this. Believe it or not,
it has flown.
Back in like high school, it was like I couldn't even get up in front of a class to say my speech or a book report or anything. And this is like equivalent to that for me. It's fun.
I recommend you guys try a Walker DM48 mulching deck for summertime.
Like, what was that? Somebody was saying there was blades or something for the leaves. Have you heard of those?
I have.
Oh.
No, but going to the mulching deck is, we definitely will try. We find them all the time on Facebook. We'll pick one of them up. We have some picky clients that specifically want their grass bagged. And they'll have like a 48-inch gate and their backyard's like an acre. And the only thing that fits through there that we have is a walker on an angle. And to bag it, to fills up the hopper and whatnot. We pull the screen to recycle the grass back, but the second we try to cut like their front yard with a standard mower, they watching out the window, they come running out. Hey, I thought you were going to bag my grass. It's what I'm paying for, blah, blah, blah. So if we threw a mulching deck on there with the walker, they wouldn't even know.
Yeah.
They wouldn't even know that we're
Yeah,
bagging
they
or
wouldn't
mulching.
know.
We wouldn't have to empty. But that's, we'll look into that.
All right. Well, guys, glad Burns recommended you. I really enjoyed chatting with you two in this live. Also, like all the videos, I watched your viewers so far. Keep up the good work. Thanks, Long Boy. Sounds like you're heading out. But
Thank you.
Will,
Thank you for watching.
Yeah, we're going to do more live videos, so definitely feel free to come back.
Yep. Thank you for watching.
Yeah, we got about 5
We're
more
gonna
minutes.
we're gonna wrap this up in about 5 minutes.
Pretty soon, though, hopefully one day there will be a 0 next to that.
That's what I
line.
said before.
Yeah.
With 10,000.
Pretty awesome. We don't even have to get rid of the balloons. We can just reuse them.
Yeah.
Nah, it'll probably go flat by then, but
I'm not sure what other channels everyone, the 11 people watching so far, who their favorite channels are, but I found Victory Outdoor Services is a concrete channel. And I absolutely, it's like a story almost. They show the whole day, starting at the coffee shop in the morning and running through their whole day with their employees. They show every single step of the rip out of the concrete, the pouring and everything. And it's just like, it's like a TV show almost. And his channel went from 0 to 200 and something thousand subscribers in a year and a half. So maybe check out his channel. I like his channel a lot. Yeah,
Victory. Yeah, he's a good channel.
His slogan is like, how much garbage do we make? Easy money. I love that channel. Makes me want to play around with some concrete. Yes, a lot of people. I feel like
a lot of people.
you don't even have to just like the work. It's just the way he has all his videos set up with all the people he interacts with. Just his editing, everything is perfect.
Yeah.
Whole
day of leaf cleanups.
Yeah. It's like we could do from
Yeah.
start to stop. I mean,
Yeah, we've been trying to do that. The problem is that everything we film, we have a GoPro, but everything we film usually is from an iPhone. We're having a problem with either storage or battery life throughout the whole day to get it all in. And
it's
moving.
Tough
We're also doing so much work right now that it's hard to get everything on video and move the camera 100 times. And we don't hire anybody to follow us with a camera, so we're usually working 8 to 10 hour days. So it's hard to get the camera in the right position. But we're doing our best for now to get through. And then over the winter, we're going to upgrade some better cameras, some better computer, and that sort of thing. But any tips for making videos? So, like I said before, I make all of our videos. Steve doesn't really make them. He gives me suggestions and he'll help film and everything. But all the editing behind the scenes stuff is all me. I would say it's the best thing I've learned is it's better to have more video footage than not. At the end of the day, it sucks going through all the film because it's a lot. But take more videos of everything that you can get and develop your video from what you have in front of you. It's hard because sometimes I'll be going through footage and I'll be like, man, I wish we filmed that. And I'm trying to piece these things together and make something up and fill a gap in the video. But when you have it all laid out in front of you, you can almost write the story as you have it. So I would say pick a key topic and run with it and make that the focus of the video, but also have some additional things along the way so you can just write the whole story. You guys have that you just do mowing for? But I'm not sure what that.
I think he means, do you have customers that you just do mowing for?
Oh.
How do you tell them you aren't snow plowing?
Oh yeah.
We get this constantly, say from the month of August through the end of our season, asking when we send the invoices out at the end of the month, do you guys do snow plowing? And sorry, I don't. I recommend 1, 2, 3 different companies, whichever town that the clients are from. And then I also will throw in there, we're set up for snow plowing. It's just, right now where we are, I don't like to commit to it for entire winter. Like if we get a 3-foot snowstorm, I'll tell the clients, and like a year-end letter, wishing them a Merry Christmas and whatnot. If we get a big storm, feel free to reach out to me. I might not be available, but if I am, I have no problem doing it. Just not to be bound down to like a set schedule for the whole winter, because we like to travel. We like to go to Florida. We like to work on stuff. We don't really want to be up all night long, just sweating it out for all the blood money when we do that all year long. We like to take the winters off and recover. Any last comments? And then we'll wrap this up.
Congratulations on your 1,000. Thank you, and congratulations to you guys.
Yeah,
as
you
well,
guys
because are
killing it too.
very soon.
Really appreciate your shout out from the last video, your live video to get us to 1,000. Thank you to you and your wife for watching this live.
Thank you.
And everyone else that watched tonight.
Yeah, this was a lot better than I thought it was going to
Yeah.
be. I was thinking, man, I don't know if anybody's going to comment, but we got a lot.
Yeah.
So it was great. Thank you to everyone. That's probably it.
That's
right?
it, yeah.
So we're definitely going to be back with more lives soon enough after the work probably dies down. But we're going to keep making videos of whatever's left of the fall season. So stay tuned for all of them. And I'll just read this last one
Yeah.
from Patrick, and then that'll probably be it. I'm not looking to buy out a buddy of mine. I'm looking to buy out a buddy of mine and looking to not do snow plowing and just looking to tell the customers that I am not doing after the season. Yeah.
There's two different ways you can go about it real quick before we wrap this up. Buying other people's accounts, buying my dad's accounts. He didn't give them to me. I purchased them from him. Is it worth it having my dad work for us? Yes, 100%. Is it worth buying his customers from him? No. I would never, ever, ever in a million years buy another company ever again, because you're getting their clients coming in, you're getting them at their pricing. And if you raise the price, you're going to lose the client and still have to purchase it from whoever you're buying it from. I bought it from my dad, so he's flexible. But I would never buy accounts. It's easier to go and put an ad out on Facebook and advertise and get your own clients. Unless you're getting them for absolutely dirt cheap, where you can experiment with the pricing and the routing and everything. But I would start fresh. But that'll wrap this up. Thanks, Doug, and thank you everyone else for watching. We'll see you in the next video, and we'll have another live in the next couple weeks.
Yeah. Sounds good.
Thank
All right. Thanks, guys. Good night. That was good.